After 13 years clean and 8 years of marriage, I did heroin 3 weeks ago and almost came close to fully relapsing. I was a heroin addict in the Lower East Side of Manhattan in the 1990s. As a teen, I got clean at 21 years old after years of abuse. I got married at 26 to my amazing and beautiful wife. She knows I was an addict. I spent all these years not even really thinking that much about the concept of relapsing. It had been so long. I still thought about it, but with marriage and my kids and everything, the thought of it was just so ridiculously out of sight to even consider trying it again. 3 weeks ago, it was my friend's birthday. He is 4 years younger than me, so of course he wants to go to some cool, hip, sketchy bar club thing in Bushwick. I got drunk. Really drunk. I hadn't really drank much at all in the past few years, so my tolerance was way lower than expected. There was a dealer outside and a few other junkies nearby. I don't even fully remember what happened. I just remember going with them, abandoning my friend at the bar. It was like 1 a.m. anyways, and going to some apartment and shooting up. I spent the night there, then all the way until noon the next day. I had 10 missed calls. I panicked when I came out of my daze. I told my wife I'd gotten way too drunk and was puking and my phone was out of battery, so I stayed at Charlie's house. She was disappointed I didn't tell her, but also thought it was funny because she used to tease me for not being able to handle my liquor. This was a "I told you so" moment. She had told me not to drink too much before I went to the bar. She wasn't even in New York. She was at a summer house with the kids in Massachusetts. I spent the next 4 days until they got back just riddled with anxiety, urges to get more heroin, horrific mind zaps. I don't even know what to call them. It was, in some ways, worse than my withdrawal symptoms when I first was an addict. Not because of the physical feeling, but the horrible mental feeling of what I was possibly giving up. My wife and kids. I wanted to fucking get more so badly. I left my house to find heroin 4 fucking times. 4 times I gave up to get more, but wasn't able to find any, and snapped back to reality and went back home. I still thank fucking God I did not somehow run into some street dealer during those 4 times. I would have absolutely done it. I feel like everything I thought about myself, that I was strong, that my addiction was behind me, that I had beat heroin, it was all gone. I am not going to say I am back at square one or anything. I am not, but I feel like something inside of me has reset. My unwavering strength against addiction was broken at the slightest temptation. I still am weak. Heroin is so much stronger than me. It's truly unbelievable how much stronger it is than me. When I was young, my aunt had cancer. She beat it. Then it came back soon after, and she beat it again. It didn't come back. And we loved how strong she was for fighting her cancer and that she had overcome it. She lived with us. I remember her feeling of strength after her 2nd year of not having cancer, her 3rd year, her T-year. It finally felt like it was gone for good. Her thinking, it's finally behind me now. It's a part of my past. And then it just fucking came back. 9 years after her first diagnosis, it came back and killed her. I remember her feelings and how she felt about it. So many years after she thought it had gone away. That is how I feel. Like a cancer, which I thought I got rid of a decade ago, just showed back up on my screening. The first 5 to 6 days after I tried it that time outside the bar were the worst. My kids and wife have come back. The urges mostly went away the second I saw my kids. I hugged them so damn hard. And I never told my family what happened, nor will I ever. My wife never understood that side of me. She met me 5 whole years after I was clean. I just cannot have her know, ever. I won't do it again. I am planning on not drinking to excess like that again, except maybe in very specific situations, like at the summer house, where there is no option of drugs. I mean, not like I want to get drunk again like that, but just in case I ever want to get loose. I am never doing that in the city again. I am still about 90% sure that I won't ever touch heroin again. I am still positive in myself about it. It's just, it used to be 99% sure. That is what fucking terrifies me. I said, heroin is stronger than me. It is absolutely stronger than me. But the reason I won't ever do it again is that it isn't stronger than my family, my wife, and kids. I don't care about how good it feels. I will not subject my wife and children to me being an addict. I would rather just kill myself than that. That was one kind of confession. What do you think? Leave a comment and we go on to listen what ReadIT thinks. Not a this girl. No kidding. While I think it's admirable that Op is committed to tackling his addiction, I cannot believe that everyone is just glossing this shit over. He went to a junkie hangout with junkies and shot up, and he's hiding it from his wife. If they have unprotected sex, he's putting her at a huge risk. A good friend of mine got Hep C while he was living in New York and addicted to heroin. It's not fun. Slangwich. Yeah, I also can't believe he thinks he's going to manage his addiction without being honest about relapsing to his wife. He's not telling her because he's sliding back into old behavior, and hiding it from loved ones is how addicted people keep that door to drugs open. He's going to need to be honest with her if he hopes to keep up his sobriety. Deleted user, I thought I was the only one thinking it. This is like having an affair with an ex-wife, and he just wants to brush it under the rug and pat himself on the back for it. What the fuck? His wife deserves to know what her husband is capable of and what he's done. She deserves to know the risks to herself and her children. He's 90% sure he won't do it again. I don't like the sound of a 90% chance that my spouse won't leave the kids home alone to go score more drugs. Pascal, as a recovering alcoholic, I offer this advice. You never beat your addiction. It never magically goes away. You just rack up more time between the last time you did it and today. Make recovery part of your day, every day. I'm not saying you have to go to a meeting every day, but you do have to work on your recovery every single day, Bitterzine. I agree, get some support. Someone who can hold you accountable when you feel weak. Go to meetings, see a counselor, whatever works. I always got so sick from heroin that I didn't really get too hooked on it in the first place. I got lucky. My cousin Kevin didn't. He died 9 months ago. And my cousin Michael overdosed this week. He didn't make it. My aunt overdosed 2 years ago. She didn't make it either. This has left everyone so broken and sad. It's not worth it. Stick around. Be there for your family. They love you. It's worth it to stick around. Deleted user, I'm being 100% serious here when I say you need to quit drinking. It's a trigger for you, and likely will be even more of one in the future, since you will probably always mentally link alcohol use what the hell relapsing. And honestly, the fact that you're so reluctant to give it up even after what has happened. Already outlining scenarios where and how you'll drink again suggests to me that alcohol may already be a little too important to you. You're an addict. People get addicted to alcohol with great frequency. It's very easy to do. To beat this relapse, you need control over yourself, something alcohol does not afford. Nagasgura. Also, purely selfishly, if he really does care about having a good relationship with his wife, his relationship will suffer and very likely come crashing down by keeping huge secrets like this. The longer you don't tell her, the more the guilt will eat away at you. And when she inevitably does figure it out, either through you telling her or you relapsing or just realizing you're acting different, you will have not only disappointed her but also betrayed her by lying and keeping this from her. If you tell her now and express the same regret that you expressed here, she will primarily want to help you. You suffer from a disease, and she'll want to fight it with you, even if she doesn't completely understand what addiction means. But if you choose to lie and hide it from her, I really wouldn't blame her if she ends up leaving you for that kind of lack of trust. Secondly, you need to tell your wife. She can help you. Your chances of recovery are higher if you can feel comfortable seeking the help you need. You need to have someone to hold you accountable. Already your addict brain thinks you got away with it. Your lies to your wife and yourself are very obvious to everyone reading this post. This isn't a judgment on you as a person at all. It is a symptom of the disease. Also, she deserves to know she is an equal partner in your relationship. Keeping this from her is denying her her autonomy. You're afraid of losing her? That's understandable, and I completely sympathize. But she needs to make the decision herself. You can't make it for her. She deserves to be able to choose. She needs to know for her sexual health as well. If you are going to have sex with her, you can't hide the fact that you're an relapsed addict. That's dangerous to her health. Clarity by hilarity. Please do go get tested before you sleep with your wife. You don't know for certain where that needle came from, and you would never want to hurt her this way. Good that you resisted urges since then. You may want to share this with her. Relapse can happen even years later, but stay strong and don't allow yourself to be in any environments like that again, as alcohol lowers inhibitions significantly. Stay strong. Look at those babies anytime it crosses your mind. Monkey sand of football. People who've never had addictions don't understand addictions. With that said, I would tell my wife. Her help with future temptations might mean the difference between full-on relapse or being able to fight it. The urge never goes away, you just learn to live with it and break the habits that lead to it. I myself had a coke problem. I quit, but anytime I drank, I didn't have the will to fight it. Now, if there's drugs around, I don't drink. Or if I'm drinking and drugs become available, I leave. It's kind of like having someone to help you say no. And yeah, cancer is a bitch. Sorry for your loss. My previous wife fought it for 7 years, beat it twice. Third time, she lost. I feel your pain on that one. Mutniks, I really appreciate this confession and relate to it strongly. I am an ex-heroin addict as well, although I've only been clean about 10 months. I live with my wife, who was also an addict. We got clean together, and just yesterday, I took my car to get it inspected and ran into an old friend who is still an addict. Very shortly after meeting, he told me he has brown and clear for sale. I instantly replied, I'm good, but for the rest of the day, it was in the back of my head, just knowing how easy it would be to go get high. The only thing that kept me from ever acting on any urges was the fact that I kept thinking about my wife, my father, and everyone else in my family who has helped me through this struggle. Knowing how much I would let them all down was what really kept me in check. I couldn't imagine what would happen if I was drunk, though. Needs vodka every day. Spoken from someone with multiple family members that are addicts, both current and recovering. Tell someone soon. Actually, get a sponsor. They have plenty of experience, and the next time your wife takes the kids to Massachusetts, you have assistance. Check in with your sponsor often. Respond to your sponsor as soon as they contact you. Every time. Secondly, your wife needs to know. She is the closest to you and sees you the most. If she is counseled to identify the behaviors of an addict that is close to relapsing or has relapsed, then you have help sooner. Lastly, seek counseling. You formulate your own strength. If you believe you aren't strong enough, you won't be. If you believe you can overcome this, you will. By your post, there is doubt. That increases the likelihood that you'll relapse. The sooner you get counseling, the sooner you can bump that 90% to 100%. Carry pictures of your family with you. Keep them pinned in your car dashboard and at work where they are always watching you. That appears to be your driving force. So make sure you are always aware of them. You've got this. Mescalian. Yeah, the monkey never leaves, man. Went a whole vacation with an ex of mine lit, faking piss breaks to dose in the bathroom. She never knew until I confessed a year later. That damn monkey never leaves. I've also accepted I like to get fucked up. It's who I am. Adventurous, curious spirit. So I stick to non-addictive. Got my medical card, which keeps the mind monkeys in bay, better than Blackie-chan, and increases my appetite, which helps fitness goals. I recommend exercise to any addict and shrooms when I'm feeling a little squirrely. The shrooms cacti too. I have to give credit to for helping me come to the realization I wasn't as functioning as an addict as I thought. Refuse to touch alcohol. Shit for the body and mind. I see the drinking as the catalyst for relapse here. It's a known inebriant, lowers inhibitions. Have had nights of drinking in the past where I did drugs I never thought I'd try. Horrible drug for the curious mind, pal. Well, fuck alcohol as much as H. You ever want to backhand that monkey a little? Look into Iboga. Ron Swanson Soldman. I didn't read your sad-ass story, but you sound like the typical drug abuser. You care about nobody but yourself and then want sympathy or for people to act like you're some sort of hero. Be a man. Totally. Maybe you shouldn't have done fucking heroin? Deleted user, don't compare your addiction to heroin to cancer. People never wanted cancer and got it. You chose to take heroin. Dajuga no. Sorry, but I have no sympathy. Anyone who takes heroin with the widespread knowledge of the problems it causes deserves whatever happens. Cure the opioid addiction problem by not wasting Narcan on ODS. I know it's not a popular, but why keep reviving these people when they just rush out and do it again? The problem will take care of itself.